ourselves into our mission. So this space should have started in the following way. Marcus, where the fuck are we?
Okay, yeah, we're in Norway. That's a country in northern Europe for people wondering. And we're in a city named Bergen. It's a small city. Yeah. How do you like it so far, Alan?
It's fucking not what I expected in the sense that it's quite homey. It's quite, you know, it can be a nice place to just chill and crash back. You want to fucking let me get Mina onto this space. Let me text Mina.
Yeah, sounds good. So, Norway, we have like 6 million people living here in total. So, that leaves a lot of free space for people that want to live comfortable lives. And that's also a reason why I invited Alan here, because I was living a comfortable life and I didn't want to have that. I wanted to live a life that was out of the ordinary, and here Alan comes in the fucking picture. Says he wants to punch me in the face and teach me the ways. So I'm grateful that you're here.
Yeah, likewise. I just invited Mina. See if she joins. So, first impressions. Let's do that. Some fucking icebreaker questions. What was going through your head when you saw me for the first time at the airport?
Okay, so I was standing in line waiting for Alan to come out of the fucking gate, right? Through customs and shit like that. And my first expression, the first time I saw him, he just came out the doors and he put his hands out to the side. I was like, I'm here, motherfuckers. This is my city now. So immediately that like conveyed a sense of pure confidence. So yeah, that's like the first impression out of you.
Yeah. And after we start working, and let's talk about the work. Let's talk about how we actually do things in person versus on the phone. What do you think of that? Actually, first describe to the listeners in future or the one listener right now how working actually goes.
So basically, early afternoon or maybe in the morning, I call Alan and we have a talk and schedule the day, have some tasks, and we set some bullshit goals for the day. And in the future it's going to be, okay, we have these goals for today. If we don't make them, we're not gonna eat. So we're basically going to starve ourselves until we get the job done. But yeah, working with him is great. So we get a lot of shit done. So it's actually really productive living this lifestyle.
I mean, it's quick fire. It's like shit that you've never seen before. Anfel, welcome. Don't know you. You might be one of Marcus's followers. The background to this space is I talked to Marcus 6-7 weeks ago on the phone, and now I came to visit him in Norway because we're starting a bunch of shit together. We're business partners, I guess you could say, and we have the same mindset. I can get something from him, he can get something from me. And he's one of the first people that I met in person from Twitter. So, this space is just about breaking his world a little bit, showing him, the bigger picture, and, growing some balls and taking risks in your 20s, because it was a very different lifestyle than he was used to previously. So that's the background of this space. Back to what you're saying, Marcus. So yeah, the way shit works, the way we do things is very, very, very unorthodox, I guess you could say. I'm talking to you while I'm having a fucking shower from outside the door. We're working while going to the store to get fucking food. It's just, I don't know, it's just how I do things all the time. Talking while fucking cooking dog shit, eat dog food from the grocery store, some bullshit meat that we just got that's like, for some reason, we got the most expensive eggs, but we got the shittiest fucking meat just because I'm paradoxical that way.
Meat with salt. And it works. It tasted wonders because we hadn't eaten all day.
Yeah, so let's get back on topic. What are the changes that you see in your mind or in yourself after like this new change? Do you notice anything after like fucking 6 hours?
Well, my view on getting money has changed dramatically, actually, because I'm used to saving my money and prepare for emergencies, like we've talked about a lot this past day. And when I see you use $600 on cigars yesterday, that made me realize that money is not fucking real. Because in my mind, I would never in my entire life use that amount on something trivial as cigars. Well, they're trivial to me, maybe not to you, right? So on the money part, and also through sparring, because I'm not used to spar, but we've been sparring. I mean, we've been boxing with each other for like 2 days now, and that also kind of gives me more confidence in myself, and also shows me how to walk more upright. You know where I'm trying to get, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are like the initial reactions to all of this.
Do you see yourself changing, like in terms of personality, going forward, and when, and in what ways?
Yes. The answer to it all is yes. So the way I see it is, in 1 week, things are going to look a lot different, both on the inside and outside. Because if we're going to live like this for over an extended period of time and work on our mission 24/7, we are obviously going to get there a lot faster than what we would have if we were working with each other online instead of in person.
I
And
mean, you
also,
were. Go ahead.
yeah, and also because we can talk all the time and communicate, and I see you and see what you do and how you move, right? It's basically it's simple psychology, right? Monkey see, monkey do, kind of. So you start to kind of replicate, right? But I don't want to become you 100%. But it's good to see and learn from a guy that knows his shit, and try to emulate some of that and take that into my personality and make a great version of myself. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I
What?
I
Yeah.
actually
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Alan. Because I just tweeted about this last night. I even said that the best of leaders are not the ones who are going to tell you what to do and how to do. They're going to inspire you to be a better version of yourself. So Marcus is spot on.
Nice. Nice. What would you say? What would you say to someone who was in your position before, who was afraid to make the leap, but is looking at it right now and just staring that in the face and is trying to make the jump?
Don't listen to your gut feeling. Everybody keeps telling you to listen to your gut, but it's the trauma gut inside you that's speaking to you, and it's going through all the fucking bad emotions that you've ever felt in your entire life, and it's going to basically tell you not to take the leap. But if you stand up against yourself for like a couple of fucking hours or some days, it's going to be a lot better for you in the future.
Mina, go ahead.
I will word that differently, Marcus, because what you're trying to refer to is not your gut feeling, because your gut feeling is never wrong. It will never steer you away from danger if necessary. So what you're talking to is your trauma and fear, I would say, not your gut feeling. Because by listening to my gut, I saved myself in many situations. But by talking to my fear and to my old programming, that's when I got into trouble.
You know what? Yeah, I completely agree with you. That was my point. Thank you, Mina.
Yeah, so don't listen to your gut. Well, let's put that into practice right now. So there are obviously some leaps that you're gonna take some time to take, like leaps of faith in changing your mindset a bit here, right, Marcus?
Yeah. That is
What
right.
are they? What are they? First of all,
So one big thing for me was leaving the country without ever meeting the person I was going to meet. So that's one. And also, well, yeah, that's like the biggest thing. When I think back on it right now, that's the initial thing. So
yeah.
actually getting out of my comfort zone and do shit that I'm not used to doing.
Well, now I mean that arc of a narrative has changed. We're talking. I mean, I'm here right now. So, what leaps are you still trying to make, which you are gonna need time for? Money.
Yeah, money is of course a big one. Getting the money, but I think we're on track. If we keep it like I know, if we keep it like this, if we're going to stay on track like this for an extended period of time, I have 100% confidence that we're going to get there after meeting you for one fucking day. So a lot has actually changed since you first arrived there.
What challenges? Let's bring out all the dog shit. I want the fucking dirty ass fucking laundry. Shit, I haven't even asked you in person when we're alone. Air out all the fucking laundry right now. Like, what challenges do you see in changing? Like, what things are just hard habits to crack? I know you're very big on family. I am not, so I anticipate some conflict there. But air out some laundry, for example.
All right, so going against what my family tells me, right? Going against what my family thinks is best for me and also for them is a really, really tough nut to crack for me because I don't want to.
Yeah.
So family is obviously a big thing for me, and also, like I've said, Norwegian culture, people are really reserved. Like we don't even fucking talk to each other on the bus. Type of reserved people. So the culture thing here is kind of also a nut to crack. But I just need to fucking rewire my brain to a certain degree so that doesn't happen, when we start moving around.
Yeah. Before we get into that, I'm just gonna catch some people up who just joined the space. Welcome, guys. As the title of this space, Grow Some Balls and Taking Risks in Your 20s, implies, this is about taking risks because I'm all about fucking risk on all the time because I'm fucking fearless because I lost too much that nothing can fucking hurt me anymore. That's the fucking backstory. But practically speaking, the reason Mark is hosting this space is because we were talking 6-7 weeks ago, and eventually we just met up yesterday in his home turf, Norway, because he didn't want to come to Eastern Europe where I was because he was worried that I was gonna use my connections to the mob to kidnap him and sell his organs. Make it make sense, but that was literally quote unquote what he said to me. And so we met up and we were just talking about taking leaps and making jumps because that is a big theme of our in-person discussions. Well, all the time since we started talking, but especially now in person, because the way I live life is very, 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 very different. I'm walking around Norway with shades on, smoking on the train, people giving me funny looks, no ticket, going to the grocery store, just pick what I want, and just wearing a big fur coat around, not giving a fuck. Because what they're gonna do? Put me in jail? Like, that hasn't happened before. What? I didn't say that on Spaces. Anyway, theme of this discussion is just, a lot of people are in this position where what the fuck you're supposed to do. The badass move to make you a certified fucking G, but you're not doing it because you ain't got balls. Or you think that you need to take care of like some people. You think you gotta like do this and do that because you have this restriction, that restriction. Oh, I gotta take care of my dog. Some guy I was talking to the other day, like he wanted to move somewhere, and like I was like, why don't you do it like now? Why not next year? He's like, well, I got a dog. I want to take care of him. I just got like a fucking puppy. Bring the dog or leave the dog. Like make a decision. What are you gonna? It's all excuses. It's all bullshit. So that's the theme of this space. Anyway, back to what you said, Marcus. Going against your family. That's a fucking big ass fucking theme of a discussion right there. Because for those who don't know, I have a completely fucking gone. Like, I have no connection at all to my family. They don't know if I'm dead or alive. Welcome, William. Thanks for joining in. But I have no connection to my family at all. They don't know if I'm dead or alive. They have no way of contacting me. Marcus obviously is very, you know, he's more normal as a person and more healthy, I guess most people would say, in the sense that he has quite a strong bond to both his parents and the rest of his family. So, Marcus, where do you see us like clashing horns on that, and why is it so? Like, where do you see the conflict, basically?
If we decide to do some random ass move when I'm not in a position to do it because of my family, they're basically standing in the way because I want them to stand in the way, sort of, because they're my family. So I guess if we get to that certain point where something is going, yeah, they're standing in the way basically, well, then we're obviously going to clash horns on it. I'm not sure. I don't have like a specific. I don't have a specific point in time right now where I think it's going to clash because we've just started out. But I know it's going to happen somewhere in the future, and I'm going to prioritize, their opinion, even though it's my life, because I want them to be a part of my life.
I see. Now, what would you say to that? Do you think that clashing, going against your family, or rather in your case, not going against your family because you want them to be part of your life, and choosing like the less badass move, I guess you would say, do you think that would be considered like chickening out or no? Because I know people are kind of split on that one.
In my head, no. It all depends on the situation, though. It's all dependent on the situation. But in my head, chickening out, no, not really. Because if the circumstance is if let's say it's a task, right? But if the tasks require me to leave my family in disarray and shit, then I look at the situation like it's the better move to not do the task, to reserve the relationship.
Well, let's pull out like a specific case here. So before I came to the fucking fishing village here in Norway, like, we were supposed to meet in East Europe where I was, and I would have been a lot more comfortable, and both our bank accounts would be a lot more comfortable, because shit's expensive here in fucking Norway for no reason at all. I mean, it's the same shit, and I can't even read the labels on it, but for some reason, like, cheese is like $10. Not that it matters, because whatever, but it's just like a slap in the face for no reason. But anyway, like that arc of a story, you could have done it like a week ago, but you never did. So was that chickening out, or was that, your family following what your family said?
That was a mix of both, and also being afraid of strangers. So I guess that you could label it as dog shit, a dog shit move for the both of us. But
why is it a dog shit move for me?
Well, it's not a dog shit move for you. It's not a dog shit move for you. Okay, so a dog shit move for me. Because, okay, so my reasons for it all, if people want to know, I'm just gonna let you all know. I guess you could label me as a person that isn't... I'm a bit skeptical of new situations. I have an analytical mind, and I think of all the shit that can go wrong before they happen, so I'm prepared.
Mina wants to chime in and tear apart either me or you, so please.
No, it's
Mina,
Marcus this time. It's Marcus this time, because I think I have an explanation to all of this. Marcus, do you mind if I ask you when you were born?
2001.
Oh, I
January.
see.
January. I'm a Capricorn, if that matters.
Oh, I'm a Capricorn
what
too.
day? What day? We all are actually.
17th of January. It
No
Oh
was
wow.
fucking way, Marcus. Are you serious? Our birthday is literally 2 days apart, and Mina is like a week apart from both
Eighth.
of us.
Yeah.
really.
January 8th. Yeah. That's why we all get along. But he's a snake. Dragons and snakes. You guys see you. That's why you get along, but at the same time you don't, because snakes are smartest out of all. You know what I mean, Alan? They always analyze things. They tend to overanalyze. Like sometimes, Marcus, do you have this problem, analysis paralysis?
Yeah.
See, that's why. And since you're January 17th, that's an 8, 7. Give me 2 seconds. 9 plus 2, 11 plus 1. Oh, he's a 3. That's interesting. Well, I was gonna say that you were probably a 4, but turns out you're a 3. 3 is a communicator. You're the heart of the company, the comedian, and all that stuff. But I'm assuming your background, your hesitation, you being afraid to do things like the Alan. Well, also considering the fact that Alan is a bit extreme when it comes to being free and doing whatever I want.
A bit.
You're a yes, Alan. You're a little bit. No, considering that Marcus has a point to be a little bit afraid, because, like he said, we all grew up with this stranger danger, all this programming. At the same time, he has the right to be afraid of this. But at the same time, I can also take this back to his military training, where he is dependent on a structure. Like people in the military. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I've also been in the military.
Yeah.
So I can tell that Marcus is also that type of person. He's very disciplined, and he's going to be dependent on a specific structure. So he's not the spontaneous type. You know what I mean? He's not gonna just jump on an opportunity. Oh, let's go make $10,000 a day. Why not? He's gonna be more laid back. He's more analytical type, but he's gonna come along very well. If you train him to be more like you, he's going to absorb that, and he's going to be more lenient over time. He's going to be more open-minded, and he's going to become more flexible, which is going to work out in your favor, Marcus, knowing that, because you have that leadership, you have that communication, and you're incredibly smart. You're going to get along with most people very well. Just follow in Alan's footsteps, but like we said before, don't lose your own thing. Don't try to imitate Alan. Just see what he does and try to make it work for yourself. That's the most important thing. That's what I see men do and women do a lot. They try to imitate others. That's a big no-no. Just see, understand what's happening, and learn from that for yourself, and just
Yeah.
make it your own way.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Thank you, Mina.
to be fair to Marcus, like, it's not a dick measuring contest between me and Marcus. See, like, it's the reason I work with anybody is so that they can cover my ass. Like, we're in a shootout, we're standing back to back. 180 degrees behind me is not my problem, and 180 degrees behind you is not your problem. That's the whole point. Is we're not trying to be the best. It's not a fucking competition. We're on the same team to cut everyone's throats. Anyone who's not inside this fucking ship, getting paid and getting rich, is fucking fair game. You're dead to me. You're dead to us. So there's time and place for fucking dick measuring, but it's not on the same squad. So I'll give you a fucking analogy with boxing, right? We start sparring. Marcus is tall. He's taller than me. Well, fucking everybody is in this fucking space, I bet. And his reach is longer. Now in boxing, reach is quite important, because if your enemy has a longer reach than you, that means that even when you're not in striking distance, when you can't hit him because you're too far away, they can hit you. So I got clapped a couple times in the face because I'm used to fucking, having my guard a bit down, trying to, look around a bit when I'm far enough away. But I forgot that he's just got a little bit extra, and so he still caught me on the jaw. And a few times when I could have rocked him square in the chin, my fucking glove just brushed his nose because he's just a little bit, longer reach, so he can keep me a little bit away. So my point is, after the end of our session, I taught him some basic jabs. Like, I just told him to extend his arm a bit more, move his head, use his feet, connection to the ground, turn his hips a bit more, and he fucking socked me in the fucking eyeball with some basic ass jabs, like shit that a 5-year-old could learn. Just no technique. Just fucking just jab and extend your arm. That's it. And he caught me in the eyeball, where I thought he could not hit me because his arms are just longer. You can't fucking beat that. So my point in that story is, I don't think he has to follow shit. I really don't think that I would have ever trusted him or even be talking to him if I didn't believe that there's things that he could already do that I literally don't have to teach him because no one has to teach him that. You just have to fucking do what you're put on this earth to do. First of all, you gotta figure out what the fuck that is. And then be completely selfish in pursuing that against what everyone else says. Look at Marcus, look at how I even talked to you about, like, you're asking questions about, like, because Marcus, just to give everyone some background, Marcus is doing like the back end fucking systems to all the shit that we're doing. So I drag in shit, I kill prey, I drag it home, and I just dump the body on a pile. And then Marcus sorts it out. That's our style. So I just fucking take down the biggest beast and drag it home. He has to sort out, like, okay, client retention. He has to sort out, like, okay, this guy needs this, this guy needs that, message this guy this time, this guy needs these resources. That's his job. So he asked me a bunch of questions because we're organizing stuff in, like, Airtable and putting, organization in Notion and all this software crap. And I'm more experienced with using these tools than him. And he always asks me questions like, what do you think we should do here? What do you think we should do there? Because I just have more experience using these tools. But I always say, like, anything I say about anything that I'm not the best at, which is fucking hunting down prey and dragging it home dead, you should take with a grain of salt. Because I'm just talking shit with everything that I'm not absolutely the best at. Just take it all with a grain of salt. Just pretend I'm capping all the fucking time. Because that's not my job. It's not my job to know, like, Airtable versus Notion, all that crap. That's your job. So you have to be a master of your station. I say that all the time. It's not about, I get what Mina's saying. Kind of like fall in the footsteps a little bit. Yeah, you gotta start fucking, you gotta get a fur coat, start walking around with some shades, smoke some cigars. Land in jail a few times, have your family disown you. I think that's probably good for your well-being. People can disagree with me, but whatever. But jokes aside, there's already stuff in you that if you just fucking let it out, it's a lot easier, number one. Number two, it's a lot more useful because you got my ass, I got your ass. It's a much happier relationship than trying to, like, you're not a fucking coaching client. That's the thing, right? You're not a fucking mentee. This ain't no mentor-mentee shit. And no one wants to be menteed by me because I got fucking shit life. You don't want to be my fucking mentee. But you just gotta join the ship, see what needs tending to, and fucking be that guy.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm
it's just like fucking fighting. Like, you've got a different build than me. You've got different techniques. You're very good at blocking your face. I don't block my face. I just move my head. So it's a small difference like that makes, like, the path to learning is very, very, very different. You're gonna spar a lot different than me after 2 days. The technique is gonna be different, even though I got you up to speed. It's the same with business. Like, the way there has to be some common ground. Like, fucking do shit fast, money in, then figure it out, and all that shit. But the way that we actually sort information is super different. Like, I write shit on pen and paper with my fucking Mont Blanc that I can't even read 2 hours later because I just scribble. But you're, like, filing shit and you have, like, fancy colors and crap, and that works for you. So, we just have to be individualistic. And that goes back to fucking growing balls and taking risks as well, because everyone in this space has something that they're absolutely the best at than anyone else in the fucking earth. But you don't know what it is, number one, because you're afraid to believe that about yourself because you're a fucking pussy. And number two, you're afraid to hone that because it takes balls to put your ass on the line and say, I'm the absolute best on this earth at this, and I'm just going to do that and fuck everything else. That takes balls. But that's how you get to this position. Because I refuse to do anything that I'm not absolutely the best at. Why the fuck would I? There's Marcus here who can cover all the shit that I'm not good at. And the shit we're not good at, both of us, someone else can cover. So why the fuck would I bother? Learn fucking copywriting and crap like that. It doesn't make any sense. It's a squad, right? You want higher leverage. The lone wolf is the first to get fucking murdered.
I definitely agree, yeah. So why did you decide to come here, Alan?
Come to fucking Norway, my favorite country on the fucking planet, where everyone is, agreeing with my values and everyone carries a gun everywhere. No.
Yeah, nobody looks at you weird on the fucking train at all.
Yeah, that's right. Nobody looks at me weird at all. But why did I decide to come to Norway? Because To be honest, this is how I look at a lot of decisions in life, right? I was actually planning to go to East Europe, like further east to. I sent Mina a fucking screenshot of the Airbnb I was gonna stay in the country that I was about to go to, which will not be named on this space for safety reasons. And also because I don't want people to crash that country because it's a fucking paradise for me, and I don't want you nerds rolling around trying to make connections and crap. It's my fucking city. Anyway, like I sent Mina a fucking picture of the Airbnb I was gonna stay at. It literally looked, even to me, a fearless motherfucker, as a place where white people go to get murdered. I'm not shitting you. Marcus, there's no amount of money I could pay you. It would make you literally walk willingly into this joint, the place that I was about to stay in. And that was fucking perfect for me. I loved the idea. I was so looking forward to go. And then I canceled that trip, burned the flight ticket, and flew the opposite direction west to come see your ass. Purely because it was the most badass move to do. Literally, we were talking on the phone. Marcus, you know this. You were there.
Yeah.
We were talking on the phone, making this decision. We were talking for like an hour and a half. And what eventually swayed me to choose going west instead of going east, where I'm comfortable and the world is a fucking not a broken place, unlike the west, is I figured out, I realized that coming to the west to meet some fucking dork that I don't know in a dork country where they don't even have guns and shit's fucking expensive and people actually have like human rights and crap. Sounds terrible. And you know, women can vote, just kidding. Tone down the misogyny. But like, you know, this kind of society with all kinds of values I don't agree with, because it was the most badass move on the board. Like, I can take this absolute risk, go into the fucking belly of the beast in a country I don't want to be in, to meet somebody who's just a maybe at that point, because I didn't know if you were gonna fucking chicken out. You always say you're skeptical and crap. I don't know if like you were gonna just be a bitch. You know, not like a bitch as in a woman, but like, you know, a bitch as in a guy with no balls. And what a waste of fucking time that would be. I don't need it. I never need it to. I can just find somebody else. But it was just the most badass move. And like I said, it instills trust. And trust has been instilled, wouldn't you say?
100%. 100 fucking percent. And now I'm ready.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Mina.
No, I just wanted to say everything that you said. All leads to Marcus. He just wants to say that he believes in you. So you better straighten yourself out and start doing the things he wants you to do.
What do you want me to do, Marcus?
I want you to teach me the ways and bring me on your team so we can do some real man shit and do some work and get some fucking money so I can change my situation and move to different countries and live a free life outside of the fucking ordinary boxed in life that people are living here nowadays.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this question live. I planned this shit. This was completely fucking part of my master machinations. But I'm gonna put you on the spot live. Flight ticket to Romania tomorrow, business class. You're paying for us both. Yes or no?
For how long and when?
Don't know. I won't tell you. Tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, Romania.
Leaving tomorrow.
Business class. You're paying for us both. I'm gonna get all the extras, including the fucking vegan meal, because you know how much I care about saving the planet.
Give me 2 days. 2 more days here in Norway. Then we can
That's a big jump, actually. You know, that was a joke. Obviously, I was being facetious.
Well, I would like Dublin first, okay? Dublin first. Yes or no?
When?
Let me see. How about Friday? Friday.
Bro, you have any idea how many moves will be made between today and Friday? What day is today? Fucking Sunday. We're already cooking. We got weekdays. 5 weekdays before Friday comes. We'll be in a fucking different... They're gonna name this city after... They're gonna name this city Marcus by the time Friday comes. Do you understand? We'll be in a different fucking world by Friday. That's why I said tomorrow. Whatever. It's just, we're just talking shit, guys. We're going back to the fucking topic.
Yeah, I'm more open to it now, Alan. A lot more open. Because you are here in Norway. You have done Viking shit all day. And I appreciate it.
Yeah, but that's the interesting thing, right? Like, this is the topic I want to talk about next. This space is about growing some balls and taking risks in your 20s. And the point I want to make by asking Marcus some questions is the perceived risk that you have of putting your balls on the line and risking your neck and going broke in a foreign country where you don't know anybody, you don't speak the language, the perceived risk of all that is actually a lot less than you think. Like there's this quote that goes like, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality," and that's 100% true. If you're in a fucking foreign place and you know nobody and you don't speak the language, go sit on a street corner and look fucking sorry for yourself. Someone's gonna give you something. If you start starving for 3 days and you look like you're about to die, someone is gonna pick you up. Guaranteed. You just never tried it. I have. So I know how this shit works. It's not a risk at all. And that's the worst case scenario, right? If you just decide to be a lazy ass and just sit on a street corner and just beg for food, you're gonna get food, right? And eventually you're gonna figure something out. You're not dumb if you're on this space. You can understand what I'm saying. So, like, what I want to ask Marcus is, why was it so important? Like, I'm the same guy that I am in person as I am on the phone. Why was it so important to meet me in person, to have like some of that trust instilled? Because my brain doesn't work that way. Just explain to me.
Okay, so yeah, I guess measure your character. Not like your physical appearance or anything like that, because that doesn't matter, but measure your personality and characteristics, how you are, how you act, how you talk, how you move, things like that. Because, like I said, it's a cultural thing. My indoctrination or programming has been in a way that it has made me more reserved. And also, like Mina said, when there's no structure in my life, things gets complicated, because I start to analyze every single thing that could go right or could go wrong. So seeing you and putting you kind of in a box in my brain, does that make sense? You are a category in my brain now, and the classification is trust. And before I met you, the classification was uncertain.
Okay. Yeah, I understand your words, but in my head, it's just kill or not kill. And you've been in not kill for a while. So, Mina, you wanted to say something just now.
Yeah, of course. So here's the thing, Alan. Most of the people have not been through what you've been through. So I kind of understand what you're saying, because Marcus, one thing that you need to experience. I'm not saying everybody has to experience this, but it's very, very beneficial if you do. When you go complete zero, like nothing, you lose everything. You hit rock bottom in every sense of your life, be it family, money, or health. That's when you realize that you literally have nothing to lose, nothing to prove, and nothing to work against. Because at that point, you realize that you do, like, that's when you know what you want, and you start to understand that there's literally nothing that can stop you as long as you want that thing. And most of the people have not been through that. Most of the people have had I don't want to say cushy lifestyles, but compared to, let's say, people in Norway will not know what people in Uzbekistan or Malaysia or like some of the third world countries go through. And I'm not saying this to have it work against the people in Norway or in more developed countries. It's just that I'm saying that most people in the West or Eastern or the Western European countries have never experienced this, and they don't know. So they have to rediscover themselves one piece at a time. But Marcus, this is one of the most liberating feelings, to go down to zero. I've been through that, and it was life-changing. But oftentimes people get crushed by it. Oftentimes people don't realize, people see that, people take that as face value, and they think that this is the end. But it's not. So you need that kind of a situation. I'm not saying artificially put yourself through that. Just put yourself through something that will make you realize that you have no limits. And whatever God put you on this green earth to do, you must do, no matter what.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Mina. And I also, because like you say, I've grown up in the West, and I've had a comfortable upbringing to a certain degree, even though it has been turbulent. But that's why I went through all the military selections and trainings, because I realized that I couldn't, live under my mother's skirt for the rest of my fucking life. So I went to zero physically, at least, and to some degree mentally. But I think Alan here is going to give me, or not give me, but kind of put me on the right direction so I can take the teachings from the military and use them in civilian life as well, onto business, for example, and just life in general, right? Like you say.
Yeah, this is actually a very it's a very interesting phenomenon to me looking at it from the outside, because like people sometimes ask, you know, what I need to do to like live life like mine, which I don't understand why people want, but I guess like they want like the freedom and the lack of financial worry at all. So they ask like, how do I replicate that? I'm like, okay, well, you know what the fuck to do. Just go out, spend all your money, and figure out how to make it back. Easy, simple. I just gave free advice that's worth like fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars to people if you fucking implement it. Just buy some dumb shit and then be homeless, be broke, and then you'll figure out how to make it back. And that's pretty much the certified life path. There's like better or worse things you can spend it on, but that's basically the arc of a narrative that I took, and a lot of successful people before me took as well, who came from nothing. I mean, my grandpa was a mango farmer, so I'm not born like in a trust fund talking shit. Like literally, his house had no fucking electricity. The roads you couldn't go out after like 10 p.m. in his house because like there was no road, first of all, and there was no street lights, so people would fall off the road and hit a tree and die, or someone would come from the opposite direction and their headlights wouldn't be on because they're trying to conserve fucking the battery on their car, and then they just have a head-on collision and they die. So like that's the background that I came from, and I'm here because I just fucking figured it out. So you all know what to do. And the reason most people don't do it, I guess, is because it's just a mystery to me. Because look, like imagine the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is you're just not about it. You're just destined to be a fucking loser. Sorry, someone has to flip the burgers. Whatever, right? Let's imagine that's your destiny, and that's the worst case scenario. If that was the worst case scenario, and if you are actually destined to be a fucking loser, wouldn't you rather find out sooner? Just fucking get it over with and figure out what to do with your life. Find out if you're a loser or not. Find out if you're about it or not. Go to zero, figure it out, fail, be homeless for fucking 15 years, and then realize, okay, I am a fucking loser. Then move on with your life. Like, that's the worst thing that can happen. Wouldn't you rather try and like see if you're about it, rather than pretend your whole life like, oh, making excuses. Oh, it's just because of this. When I got this going on, when my mom fucking, lets me leave the nest, when this happens or that happens, then I'll be about it. When you're just pretending the whole time. Marcus, you want to let some speakers on? Feel free. I believe.
I see Maj here has a question, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead.
I also saw that Wisdom Fuel had a question earlier, so I can let you on after this.
Yeah, get Wisdom on as well. Let's do it. Maj did. Say something.
Hey, so about the idea of going homeless, I heard you saying that to do that. They would like to do that to realize that you don't need to prove anything to anyone, and to like feel free, feel true freedom. However, I would prefer, rather than going homeless, to have a purpose in the first place. With me, for example, this is because of a good upbringing that I'm grateful for. Since I was very young, since I was in year 7, I never cared about what others thought. I would go to school, literally talk to nobody, and then go home, finish revising the Quran, reading some books on making money, So I really did not care about what anyone said, because I knew that I had a purpose. And it was all without going homeless or anything. And I mean, even though suffering can help you, it is not necessary. The Prophet ﷺ said that, the Prophet Muhammad, the Islamic Prophet, he said that do not ask for the pain. Well, he didn't technically exactly say the pain, but that's the best translation I can find. So he said, don't ask for the pain because you will not be able to bear the pain that God did not give to you. There was a story of a person who said that he would bear any pain to get to the paradise and to get to the mercy of God, right? And then what God gave him is a little stone in his urethra, in his kidneys. That stone made him literally go nuts. He would keep banging his head on the wall of the pain and the suffering that he could not possibly bear until he repented, and then it was I don't remember if he repented or he died, but that's really just the moral of the story. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And let me ask you a question. So, do you have everything you want in life?
I did not use. I'm not used to having everything I want in life. I mean, I'm grateful for whatever I have, but I always I always seek more. I always ask for more. I always strive for more. So, I mean, if you
So you don't have everything you have right now, is what you're saying. You don't have everything you want right now.
I mean, it depends on the meaning. As in, if I'm asked if I'm happy with what I have right now, then I'm happy. But if I would strive for more, and I'm always striving because life is about the hard work you put in.
No, Majid, we're just trying to just answer the question straight. Like, we're not trying to be rude or anything. You just should answer the question. Do you have everything you want right now? No, you don't. Yeah, being grateful, we all do that. And everything you said, yeah, it makes sense. But at the same time, you need to know, like you said, suffering is not necessary. Yeah, that's true. Suffering is not necessary, but uh, pain builds people. And more often than not, men are like that. They learn through pain better than anything else.
I mean, it's like I always say, you never end up doing anything unless you have to do it. That's why, like today, true story, Marcus knows this is true. Woke up and just decided, you know what, I'm just not gonna eat until either I land the fucking clothes, money's in the account, a new one, or fucking we solve a bunch of shit that we were trying to set up in the back end, which should have taken like a full day in 4 hours. Either one of those things must happen before I eat. And I want to eat before the spaces. So that's why I just start a bit late. It started 15 minutes late. It's supposed to start at 9, but it started at fucking 9:15 because we figured out all the shit. Still had time to spar, still had time to talk shit, smoke cigars, and figured all that out. And the only reason that was able to happen is because I was not going to eat food until one of those things took place. I got in some calls, didn't have a close, whatever. Set those up for later. Close is going to happen 2 or 3 days from now. Fine, but it still doesn't count. That's a cop out option. If I say, oh, well, the close is going to happen 2 days, so I can eat now. No, it doesn't work. That's not what I promised myself. I had to sort out the delivery. And because I was fucking starving the whole fucking time, I had to get it done. And I would not have gotten it done. I would just be chilling. It's a fucking Sunday. I'm in Norway. I can go out and look at trees and touch grass and shit. Take it easy. You know? So my point is, like, you don't figure anything out unless you have to do it. Mina, what do you have to say to that?
No, I agree with you 100%. I'm the same way. I wake up and the first thing I see is my desk, and the first thing I think about is the job that I need to get done. But at the same time, like, I don't eat food until I finish the morning tasks. And it's the same way like with you. You have to be the person to discipline yourself. But at the same time, I don't want to use the word discipline because it's so overused. It's a need. You know what I mean? It's a need. At this point, it has to be a need. Otherwise, you will not act. The only thing that drives people, no matter men or women, is the need for something. You have to want it more than anything else. Otherwise, it won't work.
And that's the thing I was telling Marcus as we were cooking dinner just now is that is the greatest form of security on the planet. Like, people at the end of the day, I think the reason they don't fuck with this lifestyle is because they think that it's insecure. They think that, oh, like, what if I don't do it? I end up homeless and I'm like, I don't figure out how to make my business, and what if this doesn't work? What if that doesn't work? Okay, fine. You don't like uncertainty. Well, how about this for fucking certainty? Make a promise to yourself. Empty your account. Have no money for food. And say, okay, I have to start this business. Otherwise, I have literally nothing to eat. And I'm going to move to a foreign country so my parents can come save me. And I go tell my boss his wife is fat and ugly and tell him to go fuck himself so I can't go back and get my normal job. Fine. Now you're really fucked. You burned all the bridges. Congratulations. You have no choice but to make your fucking business work. It's like if someone comes into your house, puts a gun to your fucking head, and says, in 1 week you better have $3,000, I was gonna come back, blow your brains out, and throw your children off a balcony. Well, guess what? You're gonna find some way to get $3,000. Isn't that a fucking better certainty? That is the most certain outcome. Just pretend. Just fucking empty your account. You can send it to me if you want, or send it to Marcus, or send it to me now, or send it to fucking anyone. Send it to your mom. And just make sure it has to work. That is the best way to guarantee that it works. Wisdom. You became a speaker, you're just hearing us talking shit. What would you like to say? What would you like to add to the discussion?
I would say words wouldn't matter if there's no action. All of us go through pain, of course. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can. It's just really muffled.
Let me see here.
Yeah, words wouldn't matter without action. So what do you mean to say to that? You think me and Marcus and Mina are full of shit, or what are you trying to do?
I agree with the point that I agree with two main points that you mentioned. The first one is the.
My bad, I cut off. Look, your words mean a lot, but when it comes to negativity, you can use negativity as water and plant a seed, which is a positivity, so it can make it grow. Because life is too short to hate on people and to look down on them and say, nah, this person's worthless. You know, I know it's worth in everybody, but some people don't get treated the same. I wasn't treated the same by everybody, but all I can say is I treat everybody with love because love is better than hate. I'm not talking about this new agenda. I'm talking about, like, literally tradition. That's how you build an empire.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Majid, what were you gonna chime in just now?
So I wanted to say that I agree with two main points that you guys said. The first one is that pain and suffering is helpful in building strong men who can then achieve their dreams. But at the same time, purpose is much more important than just the idea of pain. Because if you're going to go through pain, you might, without a purpose, you might as well just go to Iraq and get your get shot in the head or something. But if you have a purpose, then you know where to go to get in pain and get in suffering. Do you understand what I mean? Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really just what
I understand. I mean,
say.
Honestly, from my understanding, I really don't understand everybody's perspective because I'm too closed-minded. I think everything about me versus I should learn from somebody else's perspective to understand their life so I can use it as wisdom so I can bring it better in my life and just basically learn from people so I can understand how life really is.
Yeah, Mina, go ahead.
No, I was just saying both of these gentlemen have a point. But the way Wisdom was saying positivity, yeah, none of us are negative. I'll be honest with you. Alan is not a negative person. Marcus is not a negative person. If you go on my page, it's all... Yeah, exactly. Alan's one of the most positive people I've ever met, and so am I. If you go on my page, that's all. There's nothing but love, and there's nothing but good messages. The thing is that we don't use negativity. We might come off as harsh, but we're not. We are just very driven because, and it's going back to what Majid said about purpose. Yeah, all of the pain can be bared if you have a purpose, and that's our need, that's our why. Alan's purpose is to make a lot of money. Well, I don't even know what your purpose is. I'll be
Yeah,
honest with
that's
you.
actually a very good segue into what I was about to say next. Great minds think
Yeah.
alike. Thank you for that setup,
Exactly.
Mina. That was not planned at all, everybody. You see how the fucking chemistry works? We're just riffing. We're just riffing. You don't know
I
it.
respect that.
You don't know how this shit works.
Honestly, yeah, you guys are positive. I mean, the way I sounds like I'm trying to say. It sounds like I'm Mr. Tough Guy, but in reality, I'm soft. That's how it is. So like, I just want to be realistic. You guys are speaking the truth. I'm shy. I don't even talk on the phone with different people. Like you guys said, learning how to talk to strangers. I mean, that's where I struggle. And like, I'm too shy. I always stay away from people. That's the thing.
You would like Norway, my friend.
Yeah, you would.
Then, yeah, I'm gonna try to like.
Men have no right to be shy.
Yeah, I don't like to be shy. I don't.
No, from my perspective, this is just a woman talking crazy talk. But in my opinion, men have no right to be shy, because you men have to go out there and provide, and not just that. You're the ones who build societies. You're the builders. You're the go-givers. So you literally have no right to be shy. It's the girl's job to be shy. I'm the one who's supposed to stay back and be shy and all blushful and all that stuff. You men don't have the right to be shy. You
I always thought that I was the most extremist motherfucker on these spaces, and then Mina joined, started crashing the space, and I'm pleasantly surprised because I don't have to take the flag for being the extremist motherfucker anymore. So thank you very much, Mina, for expressing those extremely. What's the equivalent word for misogynist but for
welcome.
men?
You're so welcome. It's just the way I am. I'm sorry. I grew up with a lot of I don't want to say nomadic men. My ancestors come from and they do not take crap, and they don't waste time. These men, they're not shy. They don't even know the definition of shy. It's not even their vocabulary. They shoot straight from the hip. You want to know, go away. It's just the way it is. And that's what I was taught to be like. Yeah, I can be feminine, but at the same time, the things need to get done.
Yeah. So back to that segue that you set up so perfectly. I want to ask about fucking purpose, because obviously purpose, like Majid said, is very important. It's not just about pain and suffering. And growing some balls and taking risks, obviously it needs to be a risk for something. You gotta have something that you want to be done. You gotta have something that you actually want. Otherwise, you're just risking for fucking nothing. So, Marcus, as the host of this space, you're gonna be put on the spot. Start off. What's your purpose?
My purpose is wanting to build a family, but I don't know where to start.
Wanting to build a family.
Hold on, Wisdom. Hold on. We're gonna go with Marcus first because he's the host, but we'll get to you.
Okay.
All right. My purpose is to follow my own way and form my own reality and future. And I know I can do this, and nothing can stop me for reaching my goals.
But be more specific.
All right. I'm going to make at least $30 million cash. Because I'm going to be the builder in my family. My family, I'm a third generation broke guy coming from basically my grandfather was a farmer. And my father, he's also a builder. But because my father was able to put shoes on my feet and he was able to make me live a comfortable life, I feel a sense of, I don't know how to say it, but I need to repay my family tenfold.
Like duty.
It's duty. It's duty to my family and to the future of my fucking bloodline. You could say, I'm going to build an empire so large.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
That not even my family can break it down when they get fat and lazy because I've made them a lot of fucking money. And I know that when I reach my financial goal, I'm also going to have different goals. But right now, the financial situation is the most important part of my life, so I'm going to do that first.
That's why you're talking to me, and we're gonna hit that fucking thing before you know it. You'll just wake up one day, sleep deprived, with fucking cigar ash in your lungs, and fucking weird things going on in your head, and then you're gonna fucking walk outside and accidentally trip on a pile of $30 million in cash. I have spoken. I have prophesied it. Anyway, wisdom, what's your purpose?
Wisdom, my
Yes,
friend.
I am here. I was just waiting until I can talk. So, yes, it is true. I mean, taking risk is the purpose of behind the story that we're talking here, that you created. And yes, I mean, I'm quite lazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it started off after coming out of school. I was like, I don't know where to go. I don't want to go to college because I don't have the money to pay the courses. And I'm like, I don't know about this area I want to head towards to. So I want to make money. But then I make excuses where I say, oh man, I'm afraid to speak to these people. Or like, I'm afraid to speak to the client. Like, I don't know what to say at that point.
Well, you're speaking to us right now. Doesn't sound like you're afraid.
So what do you think it sounds like, out of honesty?
It sounds like you're just not used to doing it, and it sounds like you're expecting a lot of bad things to happen. But in reality, they are going to happen, and it's not going to be that bad. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're holding yourself back more than anything, because you could have gotten to this thing and, you know, completely ignored my question. I could have been like, you know, wisdom, what's your purpose? And you could have just gone on and be like, no, fuck that. Let's do a sales pitch right now. And you start pitching me for some, you know, service for an agency live in front of fucking 10 people. That's what I would do. And you might have gotten some money. I have a lot of problems that need to be solved, and I have a bunch of money to pay you. You could have done that, and maybe I would have shut you down if your pitch was shit. Some people would have kicked you out of space, maybe. But you're just going to try it again. What do you lose? What the fuck do you lose? 10 minutes?
Good.
But your balls grew a little bit bigger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, right now, I guess you can say my minor strength at the moment, but I know I can grow them. It's just gotta put myself out there more.
Yeah. What are you trying to do, by the way? With your, like you mentioned clients, but you're trying to start some kind of agency.
Yes, from scratch. Like right now, I was in a band. It was fun to play with, but I just left it because I wanted something different. So I just wanted to start my own route in life. And the agency, I don't even know what that word means. I'll tell you that right now. That's how much I need to practice.
Yeah. You know what? Let's fucking bring this on like one-on-one. Just DM me and then we'll set up like a one-on-one call. You have to turn on your camera. I'll fucking spit shit at you in your face, and then you're gonna learn some confidence. At worst, at best, you'll have a fucking business.
Okay.
But I just want to fucking keep it moving here.
Yeah.
So Mina, go ahead. Talk to us about purpose.
Oh, did you say Mina?
Yeah, Mina.
All right. See, for the past weeks since I've been talking to you, my purpose has changed. Remember how I said that I want to be better than everybody else?
Yeah.
That changed just a little bit. I want to be better than everybody else, but on a bigger scale now.
Really?
Yeah. I want to have my own company. I even wrote this down on my wall. I said, I'm going to build a company that is going to be known around the world that by its programs and products that change lives for the better. I just don't know about the product or the program yet. It's going to come to me.
But why? Words. Why do you want that goal?
Because I was born to help people. I was born to bring out the best in people. This is what I do even now. I notice people. I always know who's trying to evolve, and I notice them, and I always try to pull stretch my hand and just help them out. I do this now. I always know who is going to do well, who's striving for something, who's got some purpose, some fire within them. I notice them and I just try to help them out. And the same thing, I want to do the same thing, but on a larger scale, because at the same time, I want to get paid. But so the amount I get paid depends on the amount of people I serve. That means I need to serve every single human being on this planet. I mean, at least everybody. And besides that, I also want to have a family. I'm pretty sure I want to get married next year. And I want to have 6 kids. Maybe 7. We'll see. Maybe 8. I don't know.
I get you on the married shit. On the married part.
Yeah, Marcus, you think like me when it comes to family.
Yeah, I want
it's okay.
family as well, so I can take care of them.
We all do. We all do. It's okay. We're going to bring Alan to our side. He's also going to be married with kids.
He's going to.
Exactly.
This is all news to me.
No, Alan, it's okay. We're going to, like, my attitude, Marcus's attitude is going to rub off on you. I'm going to make sure you're going to get a nice girl and you're going to have, like, 17 children and stuff like that.
Imagine 17 Allens walking around the earth. Holy shit.
Just imagine. Oh my god. It's going to be amazing because everybody's going to be scared at first. But then they'll realize, yeah, I need to follow these kids. We need to follow this family. You never know. His kids might even be the next political leaders. You never know, Alan. You never know.
That'll be the day, but I wouldn't teach them to be leaders. I'd teach them to fucking have all the leaders on payroll and stay behind the scenes so you can control the world without public scrutiny. But
and this is exactly why everybody's gonna be scared of your kids.
They better fucking be. I ain't raising no fucking kids. Putting shoes on their feet just for them to walk on fucking the subway.
That is true. Yeah, see, this is the kind of attitude people need to have, the go-getters. But at the same time, these are the go-getters always make the best go-givers because that's the people, that's the kind of people that always give the best value. It may be a large amount of value or it may be small, but at the same time, it's going to be the best quality. You know what I mean, Marcus? That's why you and I got together with this guy, and that's why we're loving our time with him because he's amazing like that.
You know, yeah, 100%. By the way, I just invited Mr. Alameda to our call. Do you want to say hey to everybody? Or did you want to speak?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. Say something.
Do you want to tell us your purpose, Mr. Alameda?
Man, when it comes to purpose, I think my purpose is to be free. Free enough to, think about purpose as a goal, I can do whatever I want, go to wherever I want, eat whatever I want, and make my family happy with this, My purpose came with my story. So to understand why I want to be free, maybe you need to understand my story first.
Give us like the 1 minute version.
A resume right now, so you can understand a little. I decided to be a fighter of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I live in Brazil. So I moved along to Amazon, in the middle of the forest, where we have one of the bestest gym in the world of Jiu-Jitsu. I used to train with Mika Galvão, Melky, and etc. So one day I saw my mom crying in a video call, because I was having a lot of trouble. I felt my knee in a training session, and last 1 year, she decided to come with me in my journey. And I started to do business at the side of Jiu-Jitsu, and she saw me starving, so she started to cry again. And once I saw my mom's crying and my girlfriend crying too, because pressure, because of lack of money and this kind of thing, I decided that freedom is what they deserve, because they They decided to go on my side and to do this way with me, and they deserve to be free with me. So there's no money in the world that I can give to them, and I feel satisfied. You know.
Yeah, I get you. That's a good purpose. You feel a sense of duty to your family, and you have my respects for that.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
when I started to do business, I just started to see that money is not that big thing that people think. You know, people give so much power to money and forget about how money is a tool, not a goal. And when you start to know that money is a tool, you can use money to do anything. You know.
Yeah. That's a very, very touching story. I mean, I can relate to that. Seeing your mom cry on a call, seeing your girlfriend cry because they chose to follow you, and it's just takes a toll. Unfortunately, I would have to, bring it to a less heartwarming place. I guess it's my turn to talk about purpose now. I'll be honest, I'm just out here to cut motherfuckers. Maximum fucking bloodshed, slitting throats, violence, pure fucking harm to other people. That's literally it. Take down the biggest beast and fucking destroy everything. And that's just it. Maximum damage, no regard to my safety or my future. Just maximum fucking destruction. That's what it is.
Typical dragon.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I just settled in this not that long ago, but that's how it is. And for those of you who don't know, I mean, half the space kind of knows me, but for those of you who don't know, like, my story is years ago I lost something that can never be given back, and no matter what amount of money or like women or cars or stupid watches or cigars I have in the world, nothing will ever measure up to the value of what I lost that I'll never get back. So every day I wake up with that pain, and I relive the same thing as if it happened like yesterday, and that cut never heals, and I don't think I want it to heal. And you're just reliving the same fucking state of tragic suffering, and that just makes you a very, very well, all the soft side in me is kind of like subdued severely. It's not gone, but it's just subdued severely, and the only thing left is just pure violence and pure just out to cut people and stuff like that. So that leads into business, that leads into how I view the world. I have very harsh opinions on things, how I treat people. I don't treat people badly, I just hold people for their shit. I say what I want. I don't care about hurting people, with my words. I just say it like it is. So that's my purpose.
Alan, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When you say that memory is the fuel, it's the fuel that keeps the fire in your heart going. How long has that been going on for?
Years. Maybe 5 years, 6 years.
5 years, wow. And you don't think you'll ever forget that?
100% not. See, this is the thing about me. I hold on to shit. I never, ever, ever forget. Forgive and forget. People say that. Forgiveness is very, very difficult for me as a whole. But even in some slight miracle, if I have a chance and I actually forgive people, I never, ever forget. Especially when it comes to shit that I lost. I mean, I can literally sit here and recount every single thing that is distasteful or bad that every single person I've ever met has ever done to me in my entire life. I never let go of that grudge. And people have said that they'll, eat at you and fucking make you like a shell of a person, and it's not healthy. Well, that's how I got everything that I have today. I would be face down in a ditch 4.5 years ago if it weren't for that holding grudges. So I don't think I'll ever forget that. I don't want to ever forget that. And because that's the only thing that's keeping me going. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. But at the same time, so here's what I think. Vengeance is a necessity for both, like anybody. You have to take revenge. It's your job to take revenge, to get even in this life, so God can take care of that in the next. But that's just my opinion. But at the same time, what I've noticed men do, they take a pain point from their past and use that as a fuel to keep an internal fire going. Yeah, it's useful, but at the same time, there is a point that men reach. It's no longer useful, it's more of a poison, because it's just a reminder of something that will never be yours again. So don't you think that this fuel, when it gets old, there will be something new?
Perhaps. I mean, I can't project into the future. I'm not that old. So who knows what will happen in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And I'm sure whenever that comes, it'll be like a change that is healthy and it's change that God wants. And obviously, it will be better for me at that point whenever it comes. But I just don't see it happening with my limited future sight at this point.
I see. Well, that's logical. That's very rational of you to think this way. But I'm pretty sure there's a lot more and a lot better coming your way.
Me too. By the way, Jace wants to speak. Should we let him in?
Who? Jace? Yeah, bring him on.
All right. Say what's up, Jace.
Mr. Fabian. Mr. Fabulous. I was talking to him on another space with Rebecca the other day. Let him speak as well. He's a fucking G, this guy. Mr. Fabulous. The guy with the Chad picture on his profile.
All right. The first, Jace.
Yeah, what's up, gentlemen? And Mina. And everybody else who's listening. I'll be honest with you guys. Just to drop a little bit of a tidbit, I'm definitely a fan of taking risk in your 20s. I moved myself, my family, my daughter 1,700 miles away from salvation in a little trailer without a place really to go, and ended up in Texas, and we've been here for 3 years. So taking risk is important. I was 21 when that happened. But I really just wanted to hop in here to ask Marcus a question. I'm a customer of his, and I haven't got a response on a recent DM that I sent. And I figured this was a good opportunity to interject.
Yeah, do you mean about the database?
Yeah, about the database.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry that I haven't come back to you and responded. We have had some technical issues, and we're about to launch it. But you have already paid, right?
Yeah. I already paid because the funnel suggested that it was ready.
Yeah. Well, then I apologize, my friend.
We just have to check the leads and fucking clean them up and put them in the database. We just don't fucking check the... I'm pretty sure what happened, Jace, is... Oh, actually, if you were in his DMs, I don't know. Because when people buy with the Stripe link, it goes into, well, nothing. It just appears as a transaction in the log, and we're just not religious about checking that. So... But if you're in the DM, then we should definitely have you on the board. So we just have to clean leads and put them in. We have about 3,000 right now. We're trying to get it to 8,000 and then fucking have it open. I can send you a link with the 3,000 right now, right after this, if you prefer to use like the early version.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Sounds good. Mr. Fabulous, what do you have for us?
What's up? Not much. I just joined. Don't know what you guys are talking about. And I saw Alan was in a call. I saw Mina was in a call. I was like, might as well join.
Yeah, so the background of the space, just to catch you up and catch everyone else who's new up. Me and Marcus started talking like 6-7 weeks ago, and had a call. We just met yesterday, and he comes from a slightly different world. Norway is a pretty conservative country. I mean, you're coming from Europe, you probably know that as well, ethnically. So we just met, and he's just kind of changing his perspective on risk taking and a lot of that stuff. So this is just a space talking about first impressions after meeting me for the first time. I come from a completely different world, and just shooting the shit on that. That's basically it.
Yeah, I think it's very important as a man to take as many risks as you can. I mean, at the end of the day, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You might lose everything, but you might also lose everything if you don't take risks, right?
Exactly.
You can get in a car crash tomorrow. You can have a heart attack right now. So, you shouldn't just take risks to take risks, but if you truly want to follow something, you should be willing to take risks and take as many as you can. You're in a constant race with everyone else, and we live in a world where risk takers, they will win. I mean, at the end of the day, the biggest difference between winners and people who are smarter than the winners are the people who took the risk are now the winners, right? And a lot of people simply never take the step. Me as an example, I'm in my early 20s. I'm a cage fighter. Every time I step in the ring, it's a risk.
Yeah,
Same
risk of
thing
fucking
for me.
dying.
Yeah, and I'm also moving to Asia in the next year, which is also a big risk for someone who doesn't speak any language out of the Asian continent, right? So I don't think you can gain anything bad other than more knowledge and experiences. So I don't think there's anything bad about taking risks, and everything to lose with not taking them.
Tell us your biggest fuck up that never worked out.
Man, I don't think I have the biggest one. I did a lot of things that didn't work out. What's a good example? I had an app that I had launched when I was 19 years old, which was, I put all my effort in with 2 or 3 of my friends for roughly 2 years. But
No. Something that keeps you up at night. Something that you don't want to tell us.
Nothing, man. I don't live with regret. I think if you live with regret, you're never able to fully grow as a person.
Not like regret, but like something that just fucks with your head. Something that fucked up and you're like, ah, damn. You know?
I don't have that. Like I said, if you think of something that is fucked up or that happened, it's regret or it's anxiety. I don't live with fear, anxiety, or regret in my mind. Those are all frequencies that are genuinely bad for you. I don't think they're good for you. You can use them as fuel, but if you want to be completely enlightened and be a positive force, you can't have them in your life. I don't think it's a good thing to not be able to sleep at night because you have something in your mind that's bothering you. I think if that's the case, you're doing something wrong. Or it's a sign that you're doing something wrong. But if you're on the right journey, that's a good sign that you shouldn't have these fears or anxieties in your mind, I think.
But doesn't that also mean that you may not have been taking enough risks, Fabian?
It could, for sure. But like I said, I'm not. How do I say it? I think there's a big difference between having things that keep you up at night because you fucked something up, and just taking risks, but being aware that anything could go wrong tomorrow. But if you know that if you go into the situation, everything could go wrong tomorrow, then I don't know, it's not the best mental idea to have. Like when I go in a cage, I know the risk of that I might get knocked out, right? I might die. I know these risks, but I don't go in there having the anxiety keeping me up at night. Oh, I might get knocked out. I might die in there. Because if you do that, then you shouldn't even step in the ring. But if I know these risks, but I don't think about them, I think in a positive way, I have way more of a chance of succeeding in that.
And how about this, Fabian? Tell me about the things that keep you up at night out of excitement. Something you want to do.
Something that keeps me up at night is when I find a new subject that I haven't learned yet. When I find something that I know nothing about, because I know a lot of things in lots of different areas of life for random reasons, just befriending weird people or just doing odd things. So when I find something that I genuinely know knowledge about or something that seems odd to me, I'm excited like a little kid. I'm a person, I like to know everything, and so the lack of knowledge is something that keeps me up.
Very well said. Very well said.
Real quick, I just want to greet a special guest of this show, Miss Madison. I don't remember when we fucking spoke, but it was one of the spaces. I think it was with Mina, wasn't it? Mina?
Yes, it was. It was. I think it was a couple days ago when Madison joined them on a conversation when you were having. Was it numerology dragon talk? Fabian was in there too.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Everyone in this space gotta watch out for Madison. She's a silent killer. She'll eat your soul. She's the harshest person I've ever had the discomfort of speaking to on this earth. And Marcus, please invite her as a speaker so she can defend herself, but all her efforts will be futile because she cannot dispute possibly anything that I just said. Madison, what do you have to say for yourself?
When I was connecting, I couldn't hear you, so may you please repeat yourself?
Yeah, I just said you were the harshest person to ever walk this earth. You have said things that hurt me beyond any godly or ungodly pain I have ever experienced, and you will just eat everyone alive on this space. And there's nothing you can possibly say to defend yourself because everything I said is a straight fact. What do you have to say for yourself?
Thank you. I'm not really sure how to respond.
No, I'm just joking around. Yeah, welcome to space. We're just talking about taking risks in your 20s because me and Marcus, we started talking 7 weeks ago on the phone, and yesterday I came to meet him in Norway and kind of changing his perspective on a bunch of things because I just live in a completely different life, risk always on, completely fearless, and he's from a pretty conservative culture. And that's kind of shifting his view. So we're just shooting the shit. Mr. Fabian here just talked about a slightly different perspective on that, where it's like anxiety off, which is very interesting, even though he still takes risks. And yeah, we're just talking about that. So just to catch you up.
Thank you.
Mina. Oh, go ahead, Mr. Fabian.
Going back to the point, I think it's a skill that most people will never acquire because they're generally afraid of letting go of the anxiety. Because it feels like you're not taking care of the issues that are happening anymore. And I know that feeling too, and I love the feeling of anxiety. But you got to remember, anxiety is not a good feeling to have. It's something that we tell ourselves, the same thing with stress. We tell ourselves stress is good, it pushes us forward. Same thing I even tell myself sometimes, fear is good. But at the end of the day, there's two sides, of the, how do I say it? There's lunar energy and there's solar energy. Let's put it this way: masculine and feminine, right? I would put fear and anxiety in the lunar atmosphere of our brain, while I put courageousness and happiness as an example. Not even happiness, but I'd say courageousness and fulfillment. I'll put on the solar side of the brain. And what I mean by that is, you can achieve everything for both sides, right? Everyone has climbed the mountain the way that they wanted to. But I think if you try to change your perspective into the positive, into the light side a little bit more than into the darkness, all the bad feelings that can also push you forward, you realize that you're also being pushed forward just as much, but the aura that you radiate is completely different.
Yeah, you gotta... Go ahead, Alan.
No, please.
I was just going to say that he's got a very good point. Anxiety and excitement are two different things. Like he said, the solar and the lunar, the masculine and the feminine. Anxiety is not optimal. Anxiety is just an indicator of something going wrong. But excitement, on the other hand, is a very, very good indicator of you being on the right path. Like he said, like Fabian said, something that keeps him up at night out of excitement is something that he wants to learn. It's the same thing for every single other person. Because when you find something that you are driven by, something you're interested in, that excitement is going to fuel you. It's going to pull you towards something bigger, better, and that's going to keep you up at night. But anxiety, on the other hand, it's going to stop you because it's just your senses going off and saying, stop, I don't like it. Living in anxiety is not optimal. It's very, very bad in reality.
Yeah, I concur. Just as a little comic relief for everyone on this space, I don't know how many cigar smokers there are, but in my hands right now I have a white Churchill from Romeo Julieta. And it's a Cuban cigar, and I'm very happy to have acquired this cigar because I can't find it in a lot of places in the world. But in the middle of this fisherman's town in Norway, somehow they had a full box. So I bought 3. I'm very happy about that. Anyway, that's a nice transition to something happy that I was going to ask a bunch of people. Tell us something that you're excited about in the future. Let's start with Marcus.
Yeah, okay. Well, the biggest thing I'm excited for is that you are here in my country. That is because that shows to me that things that I didn't think was possible is possible in a weird way, in a really weird way. Yeah, and it also opens a lot of doors for me. So now there's millions more possibilities than it used to be. Because I know that you have connections, and I also know that I can provide value, right? So if I provide value in the right direction, I will reap better crops. Do you get what I'm saying? In the future. So that makes me really excited and giddy.
Nice. Let's make some fucking money. Madison, you want to go next? And then Mina.
What I'm just excited about Do you want to do like long term or like short term?
Give us both.
Long term, of course, is having a family. That's one thing like I'm most excited about. Sorry about my voice, I just woke up, so it's a bit croaky. And probably short is just being able to grow on Twitter and hopefully eventually start a business, and yeah.
Sweet. Mina, what are you excited about? Talking to me the next time.
Absolutely. Actually, you got it on point. That's what I was going to say. I am excited the most about meeting new people, especially like you, the ones that have seen the parts of the world and done the things I've never even thought could have been done. I'm always excited to meet new people, especially the ones that are completely different from me, because they open up so many segues for me. They open up new doors that I didn't even imagine were there. That's what's the most exciting part about being alive, to me personally.
Very, very, very wholesome. Mr. Fabian, what are you excited about? I think he's in the middle of something. You're on mute, by the way, buddy. If you're saying something, we can't hear you. Okay, I can go first. So what am I excited about? To be honest, I don't feel excitement that much. My always the most boring answers on this space, but I don't experience a lot of these emotions or like drives, as you say. It's just you wake up and you're like, okay, prom here, prom there, time to start putting out some fires. And then if I put enough of them out, maybe I can go to bed, maybe I can eat. And that's about it. I'm driven way more by just inserting myself into a place where I can provide some kind of value. I'm the guy at the parties who just sits there with a cigar, shades on, and just kind of staring out into the distance. Not because I don't enjoy all the situations, I just don't enjoy a lot of things, to be honest. Excitement. What am I excited for? Not much, to be honest. It's just blank. I don't feel an emptiness because of that. It's just how it is. Boring answer, but I get the job done. So that's it.
Oh, your time is coming. Don't you worry. Your time is coming.
I'm excited about punching Marcus in the face tomorrow. That's what I'm excited about.
It's going to be a good one tomorrow. We also bought in Gatorade, so we're ready for a longer
Yeah, we're
run.
gonna go 8 rounds, 10 rounds.
You have to film it. You have to film it and post it.
I was thinking of doing that, but my face will be visible on the film, obviously, and my rings especially. Well, not my rings, because I'll be wearing gloves. But yeah, that's a little bit... We have some video, but we just don't want to post it because of that. I guess we could do something in Premiere or something like that, where it's just like a blur to, cover the video, but it is interesting, actually, because you can see, like, the way that we move is very, very different. The way that the psychology of it even is very, very different. I'm like a foot shorter than Marcus, but I'm still fucking all gas on the pedal. Don't care, get jabbed in the eye socket, don't care, keep coming. Shit's missing because I'm slipping and sliding. Fell on my ass yesterday because the grass was slippery and we were barefoot and, still keep coming. So it's very interesting to watch, I think.
You know who you remind me of, Alan? Have you heard of the Nepalese Gurkhas?
Gurkhas, yeah. There's a cigar called Gurkha.
Well, I don't know about the cigar, but there's in the World War II there was a silent group of killers from Nepal, and they're very stout but short men. The Nepalese men are pretty short, but they were the most favorite fighters, killers even, for the British Army. Because they were extremely efficient, violent, and unstoppable. That's what you remind me of. That's why I was very interested in a fight between a Gurkha and a Viking. You know what I mean?
We're not pulling punches tomorrow, Marcus. If one of us does not end up with blood on a glove, we're not stopping.
Wow.
So please.
I know video editing as well, so I think we can figure out a way to blur out your face for future reference.
Yeah, and here's something that we were talking about on our walk to the grocery store just now, actually. I think Marcus was asking some question about No, he was remarking about some of the techniques that I have. I'll just come straight at you with my hands up and kind of bob back and forth, and it kind of fucks with you because you can't hit me because my head's moving. I'm coming at you, so you have to hit me. Otherwise, I'm gonna hit you. So you have like the countdown is ticking, and you don't really know what to do. And he was commenting on that, and I was like, well, the way I fight is just the way someone would fight if they weren't afraid of getting hit. Because that's the thing. I'm always fighting somebody who's taller, somebody who's heavier, and I know I'm gonna get hit anyway because they can reach me before I can reach them. And if I just cower up like a mouse, then I'm gonna get smacked 100%. So if I'm gonna get hit in the end anyway, shouldn't I at least try and get some hit in? I'll come straight at you, get hit. No problem. I was gonna get it anyway, because your arm's longer. But now I'm closer to you, I can whack you too. So that's my psychology. It's kind of what I said before as well. Like, how well would you fight if you just weren't afraid of getting hit? Like, just delete it from your mind. Pretend that it doesn't exist. The pain doesn't exist. The shame, whatever, if you get socked in the face and knocked out, doesn't exist. And I was hoping Mr. Fabulous would be on to chime in about this because he's a fighter. But the psychology of fighting is actually a big part of it. I'm not even that good. I like technique. What technique, bro? I was just smacking your hands back and forth, not caring what I hit, and just smacking anything. I'll just go for any opening, and I get socked in the face. But that's how it goes, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't do anything, because your arms are longer than mine. So, Midnight here, Mr. Midnight, welcome to space. And he's got some moves as well. He posted a video of him boxing, shadowboxing, recently. So, I can tell this is a conversation he's gonna enjoy.
Also, Mason asked to speak. Should we let him in?
Mason, yeah, sure.
All right, Mason.
I only care about myself and business. That's his bio on Twitter, everybody. So this is gonna be good. I only care about myself and business.
Welcome, Mason.
Hello, were you guys talking about fighting?
Mason. Yeah, a little bit.
I love to fight. I have a fight actually on September 30th in a few days.
Boxing?
Kickboxing. I do.
Sweet. How long?
How long? It's been about since January 1st actually, so a few months now. Have you got into a sanctioned fight before? Like got in there and go against a dude who's just trying to kill you?
No, but I've been in that on the street.
Yeah, dude, it's so different. Like when you spar every day, it's a certain level, and then when you actually get in the ring, you got everybody watching you, and you're just there. It is such a crazy experience. I think everybody needs to do it at least once.
Yeah, dude. If you got some serious cash on hand, book a flight to Moldova. I'll meet you there. We'll go try and pick up some Moldovan women, and then have a bunch of Moldovan guys come and yell at us in Russian because they don't want us taking their girls. And then we'll do like a 3-on-2, and that's the real cage fight. No raps, no rules, no referee, no bell. Yeah.
So how tall are you? You're saying you have trouble fighting against taller guys? You just go in there and say, I'm getting hit. Might as well hit him back?
I'm 5'8"3/4.
I'm 5'8" too. So when I go against taller guys, all you have to do is all about your movement. You're way lighter than them. You're way faster than them. So that's what you have to use. What I usually do is I always set up every single time I go in with a feint. So I'll either throw a feint to the face, maybe a feint to the body. I'm just throwing something for them to react. And then off that reaction, then usually there's always an opening that I can get in, get a few shots out, and then get out. Because I know they're bigger than me. I know they can hit like a truck. I come from the strategy where if I don't get hit, I'm going to be perfectly fine. That's how I go at it. I just try and use my quickness for my advantage.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, even like you've sparred me a few times, Marcus. You see how I move a lot more than you, and I'm always like kind of like faking it. I just tap your glove just to fuck with you, kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. You have the movement. Compared to me, at least, I'm just kind of standing there right now. But in the future, when I get the moves in, I think things are going to be different.
Have you just been doing boxing or any other things like kickboxing, Brazilian jiu-jitsu? Or just starting a little bit of boxing? Yeah. I think boxing in the street is the best, actually. If I could only learn one, if I could restart my mixed martial arts journey, I'd just go to a boxing gym. I love boxing. I think it's the most important. In a street fight, if you ever find yourself in the street, you never want to go to the ground. You never want to be taken down. You just want to knock kids out. That's how it should be done. So I think you should stick to boxing.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I came from the street. I didn't go to like a
Yeah.
fancy fight gym with gloves and stuff. So
Yeah.
when I first got in like a proper ring,
Mhm.
and not competition or anything, but just in like a class, and they're like, wrap your hands. I'm like, wow, we get protection. And then they put gloves on you, and I'm like, wait, what am I supposed to do with these? Like, are we punching a
Yeah.
bag? It's like, no,
Mhm.
punch him. I'm like, wait, what is this? Like therapy?
Mhm.
It's fucking therapy. I got 16-ounce gloves on. I got punched this guy in the face. I got wraps, so I'm not gonna sprain anything. What is
Yeah.
this, practice?
Mhm. And the defense is so much easier. You could just put those gloves up by your face and nothing's gonna get in there.
Exactly. If
When you got those small hands, when you're in a street fight, those hands can get through anything. They can just slide in there and cut you at any time.
Exactly. Even if they hit your block, you can still fucking cut your wrist or something like that because the knuckle kind of slides.
Street fights are a scary thing, dude. I never want to get in I hate street fights. I always avoid fights. I don't know who's in a group. I don't know who has a weapon. I always try and avoid that shit. But if I like to be prepared. If I have to protect someone, if I've got to do it, I'll do it. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Well, where I come from, they have a saying: "Bullets travel faster than your arms."
Yep.
Don't bring a fist to a gunfight.
Yep. You always got to worry about that.
Yeah,
Anyways,
Marcus, go ahead.
Thank you for letting me join. I just heard a little bit about you guys talking about fighting and wanted to just put in my 2 cents. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, it's kind of about fighting this whole space in general, because the backstory to this is I met Marcus online, had a phone call with him 6-7 weeks ago, and we start shooting the shit, teaching about business and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I come from a completely different world, very risk on, very fearless, like you are. We're fucking fighters.
Yeah.
You're from the ring, I'm from the street, so it's kind of the same thing. And probably the ring is a lot worse, actually, now that I think about it. But
I think so?
Marcus, he's from like a conservative society and conservative culture, conservative family.
Yeah.
And just new eyes, fresh eyes. We just met yesterday. I came to Norway to meet him.
Yeah.
And just, changing perspective on a lot of things.
I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah.
I love meeting new people with new ideas. It's so hard to meet people like that nowadays. I feel like everybody just thinks the same. It's so hard when you find someone who actually thinks the same way you do about the world. I love it, though. And then when you interact with them and have new ideas, it's great.
Yeah, there's a lot of friction too, because like me and Marcus had a lot of long phone calls where it was tense and he was like going against his family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just to get on like this wavelength, and it takes a lot of work. It's kind of like, I'm gonna make this comparison here, and I think a lot of people will agree with me. It's kind of like finding guys finding guys who are like-minded, actually making it work. It's kind of worse than having a girlfriend. It's not to say having a girlfriend is bad.
It's way harder to find a guy like that.
It's way harder.
Way harder. Way harder. I know that, yeah.
Exactly. So you can't rely on, a bunch of tricks that you can pull with the opposite gender. But, you just got to sit there and iron it out. And they're not going to give up because, they're a dude. So, I'm not trying to sound misogynistic, but I'm just kind of shooting the shit, girls. Don't block me. But, it's really difficult and it's a lot of work. But the rewards are, they pay handsomely, There's a lot of trust that I've had.
There's nothing better than a brother by your side that you can trust with your life. Nothing better in this world just someone you can always fall back to. I was lucky enough to be born with 2 brothers, so I got that from the bat. You know what I mean? I got lucky with that. But if you're like if you're just a boy by yourself in a family, maybe you have sisters, no brothers, that's so hard to find another man that you can trust with your life. Super difficult.
Yeah, where are you based out of? You sound Canadian.
I'm right underneath Canada. I live in Wisconsin, so in the United States. I'm just
Perfect.
right by there. Everyone in Wisconsin has that. They have like a weird accent. If you came here, you'd get it right away.
Right. Wisconsin. So what do you do? I mean, you're a professional fighter, or?
No. That's just a hobby of mine. I just do it as a hobby. But I have a construction company out of Milwaukee. It's painting. We paint high rises, like 10 stories, stuff like that, bigger than that, downtown Milwaukee. Pretty cool.
Is it your business, or do you just work in it?
Oh no, I own it. MPI, my name incorporated. It's pretty good. I started it when I was 18, painting just buildings outside in the summer heat, and I just built it. I'm 22 now. It's been going pretty good.
What is it doing right now? Like between 1 and 5 million or less?
Less. I keep it I keep my life for how I want it. Right? Since I'm so young, I'm pursuing so many different opportunities, like fighting. I should grow my business. It's only at 20,000 a month profit, and I don't grow it at all. I have it set up so I put the least amount of time I can into it because it's not a passion of mine. I love internet business is what I really love, but I'm into a lot of, to be honest, I think I'm just being a bitch. I think I could grow it right now if I really wanted to. I think I should actually.
Why are you interested in internet businesses?
Because I think that I was gonna say the opportunity seems better because of the leverage you can have from advertising, but that doesn't really matter because you can still scale anything in the real world through the internet. I've been studying internet business since I graduated, and I know way more about internet business than I do about brick and mortar painting company business. It's just that happened to be what I stuck with, and that's what just worked out. So I guess I've just been sticking with it and just paying the bills with that.
Well, you're not wrong there. I mean, my background is fully internet business.
Yeah.
I work with a lot of blue collar companies, but that's my bread and butter is internet stuff.
Yeah.
Specifically software. I've been coding for like almost 9 years.
Really?
And you're not wrong about that. Is the opportunity in internet business is because of the leverage. So
yes, I love that about it.
Yeah, so I'll ask you a question. For your painting business, is it possible to operate on 90% profit?
I don't think so. I think it's industry average is probably around 20 if it's a really big one, but mine sits around 50, 60.
Right. So with internet businesses, specifically software as a service or SaaS, so Twitter's an example for SaaS, Netflix, Monday.com, like ChatGPT, it's pretty doable to get a decent SaaS business to 90% profit margin, just because of the nature of the business.
Cost of goods. Yeah, cost of goods is nothing. It's just digital. Love that about it.
Exactly. So the opportunity is leverage. The other thing is distribution. So like you can't paint a building for someone in China.
Yeah, you're so right about that. Yep.
So it's a lot easier to find customers that way.
Yes.
What kind of internet business would you start if you had to start one tomorrow?
If I had to start something tomorrow, I would literally just drop ship, just find some cheap product and just set up my ad, set up my landing page and start printing.
Go ahead.
I started drop shipping when I was, I think, right after high school. It worked for me, and then the COVID happened. Like, it was good. I was having $1,000 profit days when I was 18 years old. I loved it. It changed the way I view money. I never could work a normal job, but then the COVID happened. The China shut down. Couldn't ship anything out of there. It stopped that, and that's when I picked up the painting business. And I guess I've just been sticking with that. But yeah, I love internet business. I think I'm gonna just go all in on it.
You know where I think your edge is after talking to you for like 3.5 minutes?
Yeah.
The intersection between internet businesses, aka software, and blue collar. Because most of these dorks, right? Most of these geeks out here starting software companies, they're trying to do something with AI, something with crypto, something with DeFi finance and internet banking, and make this new app and have millions of people download it. But they forget the niche that has a lot of problems to solve, which no software guy is targeting. It's fucking blue collar businesses like painting buildings or construction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm working with a client right now who's starting basically he's making this software to make the process of rendering designs for like construction companies to do like a remodel of your house a lot faster for design firms. And so the tangible benefit is the delivery time is much shorter for these design firms, so they can just get more projects and have them delivered faster. And they can also make renders a lot quicker and more cheaply and more easily. So they can have like a few different options for like, hey, you want to remodel your house with this swimming pool here and like a 7-foot oak tree or whatever. And they can have like 4 different versions. So the conversion rate on the sale actually increases. So that's what he's working on right now. It's like intersection between blue collar and internet business.
Mm-hmm. One of the people from my high school who I believe is the most successful in my high school actually started something similar to that. He has the software he has is I think he scans real estate property with a drone, and then he'll have like 3D mock-ups of the interior and the outside for people. And then he does that, I believe. But I have a question. The thing I have a problem with is what I'm selling. So like with my painting, that's just a service. But if I want to get into something like that you were talking about, what's like the startup cost of getting my actual product that I'm giving out to people? You know what I mean?
Very low. Very, very low.
Is it
because
low?
most people. Go ahead.
Because you said you were like a coder and you have all that experience of coding and stuff, and I know that's super useful in creating software. I just have no idea where I'd start. You know what I mean?
If your idea is decent enough and I see like a decent cost acquisition, we just split the equity and I'll just make it in 3 days. No issues.
I think I might want to do something related to painting then, because I'm already in that area.
Yeah, it's not expensive at all. Get that shit out of your head. It doesn't cost like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to hire like a full software agency with like 30 engineers, stuff like that. It does not cost. I mean, you can give me almost any prototype for almost anything you want to do in blue collar. I've worked on a lot of these prototypes before. I have a lot of clients doing stuff like that before. And I take people from zero coding experience to building literally the app themselves in like 2 weeks. That's the story of Marcus, actually. He built the clone of Discord in 2 weeks from zero programming experience. That's how we first met.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. How about this? I'm going to look at my business. I'm going to see where... what can... I'm just having difficulty understanding where software can help me in this business, but I think I'm going to take a look at it. I'm going to see where software might be able to help me, see what I can come up with, and I'll come back with you with some ideas, okay?
No, I can do you one better. You just tell me about how your business runs. I'm used to solving these problems with software, and we'll probably have like 6 ideas pulled out of our ass in like 15 minutes.
I have a great idea off the top of my head. So what takes really long is estimating the how much materials, how much everything's gonna go into how much it costs to paint the building, right? So you have to estimate how much all the materials are cost, how big, you gotta like look up how big the building is, you gotta walk it out, you gotta measure everything. And I think if we can create a software that can estimate a painting job like that, like instantly with, I don't know how, well, I guess you just need, I think if we can get something that I can estimate online in a software, I think that would do good.
Yeah. So it depends on how long. Well, this is a live consultation for making a software company right now. Long story short, that's like at most 2 weeks of work. And it would cost almost nothing to make. Like I literally have all the pieces in my head. If you were a technical person, I could literally explain to you right now exactly how you would make that.
Yeah. You want to start and I'll tell you if I'm lost? I just want to see what it's like.
Go ahead. I'll go ahead. So it depends on, because you're saying like estimate the cost of all the materials, and you also have to like measure the building and walk around and measure stuff. What you could do is you could have an app on your phone or an iPad that just uses AR to just literally like hold your phone up, have the camera on, and scan like all the corners and stuff, and it'll automatically measure all that stuff, input it into a system. You give it history of your past estimates. So like in this building, in this project, like these were the measurements and this is the material cost, and you have that for like 25 different projects, and it take all the information that you just scan on your app automatically. You just walk around with your camera on, basically looking at all the walls with your camera, and it'll just give you an estimate right there and then, and you can go in and change all the little settings if the measurement was off, if you want to change this parameter, that parameter, whatever.
Do you think we can make it more accurate? Do you think there's a way to make it so that it's 100% accurate down to the exact measurements? Because you want to put yourself in a place where you're the lowest bidder, so that obviously they want to take you for the job, and obviously they got to take into account how good you are. I think that the most important part of estimating is the measurements. It has to be exact. Do you think that I don't think the AR from your phone could be exact for that? Because
I mean, if you want to just input all the measurements after you manually measure them, that works too, if that helps your workflow at all. But what is the biggest time sink? Is it the going there and measuring it, or is it the actually computing the numbers?
I think it's actually measuring it, because I think if you could measure it fast enough and you could get out fast enough and you could do it fast enough, you could send out more proposals to people, and you could get more jobs way faster than
the AR can be very accurate. The AR can be very accurate with this technology that we have now. If we were talking like 3 years ago, you'd have a point, but now it's actually probably accurate down to the inch.
Okay. That's actually, because I know another business you could use that same exact software in. You could use that in a epoxy business for garages, where it's like a coating you put on the garage. It's like $2-3 grand a pop. It's pretty good. It's pretty good business, but you could use it for that too. There's a tons tons of businesses you could use that for. Now that I think about it,
Dude, we
really
need
good
we need to
software.
connect one-on-one and get something fired up right away, because if
Yeah.
we can actually build this in like 5 days and it can save you a lot of time, send out more proposals and stuff, that's a big fucking game changer for your business.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
Yeah. I think that software would. I think we'd make more money selling that software than me using it for my business. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. If you got customers,
Do you know?
we have the engineers.
Do you have any experience with advertising online, marketing?
Getting customers for software companies, dude, that's like 80% of the fucking problem with software companies is acquiring users. Of course.
Fucking
Of course, I have
sick.
experience
Oh my
there.
god, fucking sick. Great. I love that shit too. Wow.
Look at this. You jumped on a random space with a painting business, met a random guy with a bear profile picture and a fake name, and now you got a software company.
I was about to hop in the shower. I was about to. Yeah, I've never gone into one of these. I went in here for like 5 seconds, charging my phone. I heard you talk about fighting. I popped in here, and this is great. I love it.
Yeah, let's DM me. Let's set this up. Let's
Yeah.
talk tomorrow or something like that, because I
Okay,
want to keep
yeah,
this
follow
moving,
me. I'll
because
send you a
most
DM
people here are
tomorrow
fucking
morning,
bored to death.
I'll see you some other time. I followed you, okay?
Sure. Yeah, I'll text you. Thanks, man.
Yep.
I actually think this was one of the most interesting explanations of the business breakdown, especially a soft SaaS company. Because I see this, I work with financial companies as a copywriter, and I see a lot of financial companies hiring engineers and coders like yourself to build programs to simplify their life, especially accounting businesses. So yeah, that was a very good breakdown. So thank you for that.
No worries. I mean, this is what I do like 8-10 times a day for people I never met, like one-on-one. That's why we have unlimited ammunition for spaces. Some of you guys who've been on spaces with me or Marcus or both of us know that it kind of starts with like a coaching call. I'm talking to some guy who wants to start a company, and then 5 minutes in, I'm like, dude, this would be a bomb spacious. Let's get on Twitter. And we just start, the two of us, having our call, but in a public setting. And we never expect anyone to join, but then eventually there's like 30 people in it asking questions and stuff. It's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal workflow.
It really is. I just love this. Whenever Alan and Marcus are together, I know it's gonna be a bomb.
You know, I'm blown away. Good shit, Alan. This is good.
Yeah, this is what I do on calls, by the way, while you're sitting on your computer playing with fucking flowcharts and just counting all the money that I dragged in for us and doing no work. This is what I do.
You know, this is the reason. This is the reason we're brought together. Because I could not have done that in any similar fashion, but I know how to handle the fucking statistics.
You know what's funny is the situation in real life right now. My phone is on 13% battery for God knows what reason. There's some issue with my Twitter space thing. For some reason, like, it's coming out of the speaker as if you're holding the phone to your ear when you're talking. It's not on speaker, like as you're putting it on speaker to like put it away from you. So like it's I can barely fucking hear anything. Half that guy's thing that he was saying was I was just filling in the blanks in my head, and I still fucking knocked it. I still responded. So that's the situation. At the start of this space, I was struggling to light my cigar because my lighter was out of gas. I bet most of you didn't even know. I refilled my fucking DuPont lighter, my gold DuPont lighter, with gas, and the gas canister didn't work while still having a conversation. So, you know, this is how it goes.
And you also walk around the house wearing a fucking blanket like a homeless man.
Yeah, doing push-ups, because I have 700 to do today and I have 490 down. So I got 200 to do before I go to sleep. So anyway, speaking of all that, it's time for us to go. Anyone want to chime in with anything else at all?
Yes, next time we do a space, let's talk about sales, because that just now was a very good explanation, example of a sales call. We should do more of this.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of totally up for that. I was kind of toning it down because I was trying to keep it moving. I was talking fast like this because I knew there's other people listening, and I wanted it to not, blow over people's head. But there's a lot of intel gathering that you have to do in the beginning. So I was asking about his life, why he started this painting company, why this and why that, why he lives in fucking Wisconsin, all that stuff. So it's not a very accurate sales call, but I was just kind of speed running it, and thankfully it stuck. But yeah, we can definitely talk about sales. It's definitely in the cards.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, and I'm so grateful that you're joining us, Mina. You got
Oh,
some
yeah.
insights.
Yeah, you're taking some of the heat instead of me. Most of the time, people are shitting on me because I'm like, just saying stuff that people doesn't want to hear. But if you say it, well, they can't say anything about you because you're the protected gender. So
Yeah, that's what I love about being a woman. I can say whatever I want and get away with it.
exactly, because no one's gonna hit you.
Let's hope nobody does.
No, I mean, you know the kind of shit that I would pull on this earth if it was socially unacceptable to hit me. I would get away with everything.
I know. That's why I'm thankful that Alan is a man, not a woman. I really am. I really am.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, pleasure to speak to you all, and we'll do this again soon.
Yep. Have a good time. I don't know what night or day, but bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.